As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American,
Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Glad to see you guys here. Hi, Alex. Hi, Debbie Rogers. I'm Matt. Make sure you share us out with somebody that you know that used to watch the show. Of course, we're on a new channel. Hi, Linda. Yep, everybody needs to get in here. Hi, Pam. Hello, hello, hello. That's where, of course, covering the news tonight. Everything that's happened over the weekend and, of course, last couple days. Hi, Rodney. Giving you guys all time to get in here while we get everything ready to go. Sorry I'm running late tonight. I'm still not feeling good. I'm just putting on a brave face and going forward. You gotta do what you gotta do. Hi, Corinne. Where is everyone? Where is everyone? Oh my goodness. I didn't even have a hat on. How did that happen? Must have looked like a buffoon. My head balding and my head was just showing. Oh, you'd be home for Christmas? Hi, Linda. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Richard. Hi, Karen. Hey, guys, I'll do it tonight. Let's get this started up because shit is hitting the fan in the United States. I'm sure you guys have seen it over the weekend, the last couple of days. I am sorry, of course, I was not on last night. It's not feeling well. Of course, not feeling too good today. The terrorist threats increasing and actually happening in the United States. It's a dangerous period. It's a dangerous period for all of us. As we've seen, of course, the war between Israel and Hamas leading to spikes in threats against the U.S. Warnings that we're in a dangerous period, obviously hitting everywhere. As multiple threats have been heard in the U.S. amongst terrorist groups that are already here, laying in wait. Of course, we haven't seen any big move yet, but that's just waiting to happen at this point. It's a scary situation, but it's going to unfold. It's something we all have to be prepared for. As, of course, Iraq and Syria and other Islamic states all move forward. Hamas now, of course, I don't know if you've seen this today, but Hamas released a video with missiles or torpedoes to take out enough to take out the entire shipping or the entire amount of ships we have in the Mediterranean easily. National Guard is out in the country because of terrorist threats. I'm not going to get into exact threats because we don't know exactly, but the United States is on a whole other level than ever before, and I can say that guaranteed. We're seeing stuff happen that's never been seen before here, and it's crazy. I don't know if you guys know, this weekend a Jewish man died after an altercation amid a pro-Palestine rally. This is crazy. I mean, we're having these protests, supposedly, and we're going to call it protests, but they're not. We know what they are. And if you watch what happened to the White House this weekend, it's ridiculous. I mean, watching the White House be disheveled and vandalized, people chanting F. Joe Biden, as the people tried to scale the White House fences and tear them down, spray painting the pillars amongst the White House as thousands marched and swarmed the D.C. area. And they only arrested one person out of 10,000 pro-Palestinian protests demonstrating, of course, in the city Saturday night. That's an insurrection. I am sorry, but that is an insurrection. When you have people attacking directly at the White House, knowing that is the sovereign soil for the United States, trying to tear down fences, of course, graffitiing, I don't care who's sitting in that White House, even though the Oatmeal Man probably wasn't even there. That is an insurrection. We're not charging them with insurrection. We're not even charging them with terrorism at this point. With anti-Semitic graffiti was left on several buildings along the protesters' path throughout the city. Metropolitan Police Department said it made a sole arrest on adult male during the long hours of the march. This is ridiculous. I mean, several minor incidents of property damage, vandalism, and were reported to police. One adult male was arrested for destruction of property of the 700 block of 17th Street, where he did an act of vandalism by painting something, but only one guy arrested out of all this. This is a joke. And other countries are looking at us and saying we're a joke. I mean, we have U.S. representatives having to close their offices after serious threats of violence. Congressman in Georgia, of course, forced to close down his office for his district office after receiving multiple threats of violence. Rich McCormick, of course, a Republican, being forced to close his office. This is ridiculous. As people are stepping forward and making life miserable for not only the globe amongst us, but watching what's unfolding here in the United States. I was going to try to stay here in the United States for now because shit just gets worse as you look out. College campuses are being told to watch what's happening and to confront violent threats immediately. American colleges and universities are faced with the possibility of violence against students and staff members as Middle Eastern war hits, of course, the 1 month mark. As we're seeing, the war between Israel and Hamas continues to roil college campuses, inspiring heated protests and furious rhetoric in the recent days. Muslims and Jews alike being forced to confront the more grave reality and the spectacle of violence that we're seeing unfold. It is sad. Of course, multiple violent threats against anti-Semitic threats and anti-Israel or Palestinian threats. So coming from both sides of these threats, disturbing emails from both sides coming out, opening up hate crime investigations across the country. An Arab Muslim student was hospitalized in Stanford University this weekend. This is crazy. And they haven't even started to act yet. The terrorists that, of course, the FBI has already put out a notification that they are here. We know their cells. The Biden administration, of course, raising alarm about that as well, and Islamophobia. Hezbollah and critical players in the war in Israel and Hamas say there will be major attacks on the U.S. We've heard that many times. Of course, showing in this video that they showed, which I wish I could, but can't, showing enough torpedoes to take out our entire fleet that is in the Mediterranean Sea right now. That's 2 aircraft carrier fleets, submarines, yes, nuclear submarines with nuclear tipped Tomahawk missiles, 172 of them on that submarine that, of course, has entered that water now. I don't know what we're going to say because people aren't waking up. This is happening. Lebanon, of course, fighting heavily with Israel now. We're watching Iran join in with Hezbollah. Watching some of the most powerful paramilitary forces in that area with limited exchange of fire with Israel, of course, that throws itself wholeheartedly into this war. We're going to see something well beyond what we've imagined. Hezbollah, of course, trading fire with Israel troops, just minor fire along the border, of course. This is going to get bad and ugly. Oh, and come to find out, Israel doesn't just plan on clearing the Gaza Strip, they also want to clear West Bank. So they want to clear over 8 million Palestinians out of Israel. Wait, I thought they were only clearing Hamas, the terrorist organization. No, that's not the case. In fact, there's much more to it. And as, of course, more information is coming out, as Nasheed, of course, trying to keep his cohorts from speaking. Of course, he said, some say, I'm going to announce that we have entered battle. We already entered battle. We already know this. But watching this unfold, of course, he's trying to hide the people that are causing the most problems. As we know, Israel's troops have pushed deeper into Gaza as Palestinians continue to try to flee out of the way. He has to suspend one of his ministers who say dropping a nuclear bomb on Gaza is an option and is on the table. First of all, they never denied this claim that it was on the table and this is an option that they're thinking about right now. They never tried to ignore or say this never happened. Prime Minister swiftly move appeared to reflect his concerns of what the popularity among his voters were thinking. Not anything to do with not doing it. But a nuclear bomb is still an option in this day and age. Of course, the minister that is right now suspended said that dropping a nuclear bomb on Gaza and killing everyone was one way of dealing with the threat from Hamas. That doesn't, of course, make it any better. It's crazy. Not saying that they wouldn't use nuclear weapons, of course, immediately just trying to throw him under the bus and try to get everybody off that topic. As recent polls in Israel show that there's concern, low levels of public confidence in the leadership in Israel over what's happening. I mean, this is a problem. If Israel doesn't face or maintain its international support amongst its assault in Gaza, particularly given the high civilian death toll there, they might lose their control of the government. This is actually unfolding right now as we talk about. And the submarine are small nukes. They're Tomahawk missiles with nuclear-tipped missiles. There are only 172 of them. Just giving you guys an idea of that submarine that is out there. But watching this, Hezbollah directly issuing threats to the United States military. And Gaza citizens, a lot of people are saying Gaza citizens should rise up against Hamas. I have a question. You're tired, you're weak, you're hungry. The people that have been oppressing you have not been Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. I'm not going to say it's not. But in those environments, and you have a group come out and become a terrorist organization and push, basically trying to free you, but not in the right way, in any given sense of the meaning. These people have nothing left. No food, no water, no shelter. Being pushed out of their homes. And now they want Gaza residents to stand up and fight in a coup d'etat against the Hamas. This is crazy. Satan is in control at this point. It is sad. I want nothing to do with this either, but this is getting worse. Biden is not going to be even running in 2024. I hate to tell you that. He's not. I already see the shifts in the water. White House, of course, refusing to validate Gaza Health Ministry's 10,000 death toll, even though the UN has already verified this. This is nothing more than a political play because the White House is casting down on Hamas's or the health ministry death toll since Israeli forces retaliated on terrorist attacks launched by Hamas. Not validating that number does nothing. Doesn't change anything what's happened. We know that number is pretty accurate because the UN has already validated it. But the US not validating it is so we can continue to send money. And this should be concerning to you because what's happening with NATO itself. We already know that Russia, China, Iran, and now most of the Middle East is against us. Turning our South Africa against us as well. Now, most of South America. This should be weighing heavily on most people here in America and abroad. The tragedies of this war and of this president that, of course, have caused us here in America is concerning. We know laws are being broken and the laws of war by Israel's military operations. We know Gaza, of course, or Hamas committed terrorist acts. We know those. Those are the little things. Bigger things that people are looking at is Turkey is at the edge of going out of NATO. Russia is stepping up its aero barrages throughout Ukraine as Kiev officials brace for attacks on infrastructure. Nobody's talking about that. As Ukrainian missile strikes, a whole missile strike on a shipyard in Crimea damages a single Russian ship. That's right, we're sending long-range missiles now. I don't know if you know, 500-mile range missiles to Ukraine. They were managed to damage one Russian ship in Crimea. And of course, now Russia knows they have them. So the 15 cruise missiles that were fired to the shipyard, and only one of them was managed to do any damage at all. Air defense shot down 13 missiles immediately. Immediately. As soon as they were launched, they were shot out of the air. So now we're giving better range technology, and we're giving Russia all the experience they need to fight our forces directly. By sending long-range missiles and every missile of variety before that, we've sent them, from ATACMS to everything else that's came out, has it been in Ukraine's hands. Russia knows how to fight it, and you can guarantee China does too at this point, and Iran and all these other countries. They are working together, and they're forming a NATO alliance of their own, BRICS. It's crazy. Oh, I don't even know if you guys know. Supposedly, over 10,000 computers in the United States, various infrastructure and other computers, have a malware virus already on them, and the United States doesn't know what to tell the people. This happened, of course, through a VPN service being hacked and malware being put on all these PCs that is sitting dormant right now. We don't know what it's going to be used for because we can't exactly tell. It's not public information yet, but I'm sure it's going to be. So you guys better know. 10,000, estimated 10,000 computers in the United States that are on right now are infected with this virus that allows malware that allows people to use that as a gateway to connect to other computers, deliver malicious packages, other computer viruses. 10,000 PCs are initially thought to have the virus. At a minimum, 10,000. We can't go to the high numbers because the high numbers could be in the millions. Literally. No, it wasn't Huawei. It was a VPN service that all VPNs use, and yeah, that's a whole nother problem. But all VPNs use it. It's a pass-through service. I don't recall the name off the top of my head right now, but it was hacked. Malware was put in place. Anybody that transferred information through it got the malware. Very problematic right now. The United States is trying to figure out what it's actually made to do and what they're planning using it for. But Ukraine's president, of course, ruling out holding an election next spring. So another non-election for Ukraine for the presidency. That's right. A dictator is sitting in Ukraine And we are funding another dictator. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gavin Newsom is taking Oatmeal Man's place because Oatmeal Man cannot handle it anymore. This is crazy. Vladimir Putin, or let's call him Vladimir Putin, because it's Vladimir Zelensky, but honestly, it's more like a Russian play right here. Saying that they're not going to hold another presidential debate, urging his countrymen to avoid political divides, saying it must concentrate all resources on fighting Russia. When he, at the same time, he says we don't have enough people to fight Russia. Not enough people to fight Russia. No elections. But we're going to devote all of you people to the meat grinder. We're going to throw you in and watch you get spit out as ground chuck. And we're not going to say anything about death tolls. We're not even going to mention that. Of course, he was being questioned by reporters, saying that in wartime there is absolutely so many challenges and absolute responsibilities to throw the topic of election into society in a lighthearted and playful way. That politics, diversity, things must stop. Political diversity is because the people don't want to fight this battle anymore. And people are right. I mean, when they're getting killed in massive numbers, watching the bombardments happening in Ukraine, it is sad. And I'm not siding with Russia because that's no way at all. Okay. But of course, pushing these issues and causing these divides between NATO, of course, accepting new members and maybe losing Turkey in the process. Of course, Turkey counterpart is a huge, huge issue. Turkey was to pull out from NATO, we would pretty much lose any oil or gas heading from the Middle East to Europe without concern. What's the Russia's done to us? That's a good question. What has Russia done to us? I mean, yeah, there was Cuban Missile Crisis. That was like 60 or 50 years ago. I mean, there's a long time that has happened. And that wasn't even Russia. That was the USSR. That has fallen. We're watching Turkey saying that they're going to give assurances to back Sweden's NATO membership. Meanwhile, the U.S. will not even make a deal for jets for Turkey. All very confusing what's happening right now. And people aren't paying attention. We got Germany, of course, pushing out of NATO in some aspects. Watching Turkey and Hungary also push the same issues. I mean, this is crazy. If NATO were to fall, the United States could not handle what it needs to do to keep the world in check like we've done so long. And we've done it with force. Let's be honest. As a United States citizen, one to another, we can say we used force to force the world into check. It's no longer happening. When you see Ukrainian president that's gotten hundreds of billions of dollars over the last year from the United States, throwing the United States under the bus because we're not giving him enough money now. That's our tax dollars that are going to that country. It's not just the government's money. Sending this guided missile sub with 172 Tomahawk missiles, nuclear tip missiles in it, high-class submarine. Yeah, we announced it publicly that it's in the Suez Canal. But that's how many missiles or how many submarines there that we haven't announced. We only have 4 guided missile submarines, which were former ballistic missile submarines converted to Tomahawk cruise missiles rather than nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. No, 154 in each one. Sorry, not 172, 154. I don't know where I got the 172 from. Announcing it is rare. And I have a feeling that the United States only announced that we have one of these 4 submarines that we even own there because possibly the other ones could be on the Mediterranean Sea side. It's crazy. all this unfolded. I mean, to get the idea of what's happened before, I mean, these were non-nuclear TAP missiles, but March of 2011, a guided missile sub, the USS Florida, fired almost 100 Tomahawk missiles against targets in Libya during the Operation Odessa Dawn. So that was the first time one of these subs were used in combat. The military very rarely announces movement or operations of its fleet of ballistic guided missile subs. And the nuclear power vessels it's unheard of. I mean, they're nearly operating in complete secrecy all the time. So I wonder what naval assets are in the area that they're trying to detract from right now. I don't know. Our government has no money, and of course that's coming up in 10 days. As the debt ceiling will hit in 10 days on the 17th. It's a flex of muscle, but nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see it because when you're showing assets and you're telling them where they are, they can easily be targeted. We know that China's wanting to target these subs to have them out of operation for anything they do in Taiwan. So it's just sickening. It is sickening. Watching this all unfold. We are the joke of the world. I'll tell you that. We are the joke of the world. Got an oatmeal man in office, and he's not doing anything to help us out. No, that submarine is there. That submarine is there right now. Pulled up to a port to get fuel, so we know it's there. To reload. It didn't say fuel, it says reload in Cairo. So craziness. Absolute craziness. Usually submarines don't go on foreign or don't even go in foreign waters like that. They'll be loaded out at sea unless they're in U.S. territory. But crazier things have happened. Crazier things are going to happen. I just have to say the craziness is going to roll. People better be prepared. Of course, if you guys can help support us by helping, of course, with the funds we need to raise to the PC or get the system fixed for us to go live, please donate. There's multiple ways to donate. We definitely need it. We're downgrading him to cream of wheat now. He's not even oatmeal man no more. That is sad. Sad days. Sad days in America watching everything unfold. And of course, we just got to be prepared. We see attacks increasing on the United States by our own political parties. And then we have these pro-Palestinian, pro-Israel people fighting in the streets, killing each other now. Vandalizing the White House, trying to rip down the gates in climate. This is crazy. But please support us if you can. We desperately need the support. And God bless you guys for being here. We will see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Till then, say a prayer for America because we are in bad shape. God bless you guys. Good night.